You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cricket Podcast for the final segment of the show. It's Cricket News. It's a segment that we don't get to do too often anymore, Max, is it? Because we do so many shows.
Normally there's some actual cricket to talk about, but
yeah, we are the news cycle most of the time. Now this is like the old days where we reacted to the news cycle. We've got sort of a micro list of things that have happened in the last week. I've ruined one of them by talking about it earlier on. Imran Tahir signing for Wedgwood Cricket Club.
Yeah,
in Div 4. So we can take that one off the docket. We've got some PSL. We've got some under-19s cricket. We have some Bangladesh Premier League cricket, and we have some questions from Twitter. Which one of those would you like to talk about first?
Would you like to get started off with the PSL?
Well, I can talk about the PSL. Of course, I can, Max. The PSL. It's one of those tournaments that I haven't followed probably closely enough. I think the general perception in world cricket, world T20 cricket, world franchise cricket, is that you probably think, IPL is your gold standard. That's the best. The best franchise tournament. Sorry, PSL fans. Sorry, CPL fans. Sorry, 100 fans. Then it probably goes just a little bit behind that, the PSL, Pakistan Super League, and then the 100, BBL, CPL. I think they're in a little bit of a mix. Depends which players are available and so on. The PSL, you've got the whole Pakistan team playing. You've got some good overseas players. You've got about half of England in the PSL. Strutting their stuff, and a pretty decent spattering of other, top quality overseas players. But it always seems to pass you by. So this year, I've been trying to make a little bit more of an effort, Max, to actually follow the tournament. And if you're not too familiar with it, which some of our listeners won't be, it's a 6-team tournament. You've got the Multan Sultans, you've got the Quetta Gladiators, you've got Islamabad United, Lahore Qalandars. Peshwari, no. Who are they? PZ. Peshawar Zalmi. And Max, what's the last one? Can you help me?
What have we had? Lahore, Islamabad, Peshawar,
Karachi Kings.
Karachi
Kings. I had to check the last one.
Right.
And Peshawar Zalmi. They just don't. They just don't.
It doesn't roll off the tongue, does it?
Anyways, it's a 6-team tournament. 4 of them are going to go through. It's going to be fun. We have had between 3 and 1 games played, depending on who you are. The Multan Sultans are top of the table, 3 wins from 3. They today became the first team to win batting first. Maybe we'll get to more of that.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
That was my first question for you, Jack. How's the dew factor going? So
it's not so much the dew factor. Well, I think the dew factor is part of the problem. It has been historically the hardest league to win in batting first. It's not super balanced. I think it's fair to say there's a few reasons for that. I think a few of the teams play 2008 T20. They kind of use up a lot of balls. I mean, the first match of the tournament, you had Babar Azam scoring like no runs over ages. What did he get? 23 off 29 balls.
Not great.
It's not great. That's absolutely bad. That is, when people talk match losing innings, that is a match losing innings. Like you can't.
It's ball eating. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's proper ball eating. That's actually, when we joke about King Legend, he doesn't do that. He'd at least save face by getting 32 or 31. He wouldn't get 23 of 29. That's poor. So I think there's a little bit of that. I think the bowling in general tends to be better in the PSL than the batting. It's a bit of a bowler's tournament. And who knows why that is? It might be the sort of players that Pakistan produce. It might be the pitches. There are various different theories, but that probably means that it's a little easier to bat second, because in T20 cricket, good bowling teams tend to restrict targets pretty well. So there's that going on. It hasn't all been, 5 of the 6 matches or 6 of the 7 matches have been won by the team batting second, but there have been some pretty good games. The best featured a chap named Kushdil Shah, and this was a proper T20 match. 209 plays 205, 206 max. Yeah, that is. So imagine saying 206 batting first for 5. You're thinking that's going pretty well. It comes down to the last over. Harris Ralph with the ball. That's a pretty good guy to have the ball. It's not too bad, It's not you stuck your teeth, but I think that's not too bad.
Well, didn't go so well in the World Cup, did it?
It didn't go. Yeah, and it didn't go well here either. He had 16 runs to defend. Kushdil Shah, and I had never heard of this guy before until he did this. He is batting. At the other end, you've got David Willey. He's batting quite a long way down the order. I mean, you've seen David Willey actually take on big roles.
Useful, yeah.
Yeah. He's batting, where would he be? How many wickets down are they? 7. So he's batting number 7. Kushdil Shah, they obviously rate him higher. They both haven't faced a ball going into the last over. They need 16. He goes 4, 4, 4, 6.
Nice.
Crescendo. That's how you want to end a T20 match. 18 runs from 4 balls, strike rate of 450, 100% boundary percentage.
That's going to send that was pretty Dan good. Weston's model into overdrive.
So yeah, what I'm saying, I think the long story short for all of this is that if you want to watch a bit of T20, if England v West Indies whetted your appetite for some short format stuff, if you're a bit sick of Test cricket, of home teams like South Africa and Australia whacking poor away teams like England and India, then
head over to the PSL.
Head over to the PSL. I'm going to keep half an eye on it. We'll dip in and out. Maybe highlight the good games that I've seen. It is a little bit annoying, and this is really a private moan that Sky aren't doing a fantastic job of covering it. They keep putting it on Red Button or Mix or whatever. So it's not quite front and center, which it should be because it is pretty good. Do you want a tip for who might win, or 2 tips?
Yeah.
Well, Molten Sultans, they've won 3 of 3 now.
It's a good start.
Mohammed Rizwan's team. I think they were one of the favourites going into it. So there's them. I quite like, if I was going to look at the squads and say who I liked, bearing in mind sort of the stuff I said around bowling teams and stuff like that, I like the Lahore Calendars, which is Saints. Calendar is a saint, I think. In well, it doesn't directly translate, but I think it's basically the same as a saint.
The concept, yeah.
Yeah. They're a pretty decent outfit. Shaheen Afridi, Fakhar Zaman, Rashid Khan, and Dane Villas.
Yeah, it's pretty. So Fakhar Zaman hit a pretty quick 100, didn't he, the other day?
Well, there you go. Yeah. I think that's PSL corner done. It was a bigger corner than I thought it would be. I actually have 3 lines of notes, but I've told you everything that I've thought about the PSL in the last 2 weeks.
Well, I can save us some time if you like, because I've got about 3 lines on the Under-19 World Cup, which is going on. That's been in the West Indies, along with the England side, and it's featured 16 teams battling it out from Canada and Uganda to Australia and England, and we are now at the closing stages. The semi-finals taking place tomorrow. That's Tuesday, the 1st of February as we speak, and on Wednesday. And they are featuring the usual suspects, Australia, India, and England, and also Afghanistan. England are playing Afghanistan in the first semi-final tomorrow. So that's quite an exciting thing, I think, for sort of the spectre of up-and-coming players on the international stage. And I think what was quite interesting from that point of view is sort of that they don't have. There's no one sort of in that Afghanistan side that's in sort of the top 5 run scorers, wicket takers for the tournament so far. Sort of I guess a team effort. Yeah. The leading wicket taker is Sri Lanka's Welalaga, who's taken 17 wickets at an average of 9.35 in this.
Is he a man who is playing against children? This is fundamentally, I don't love under-19 sport in general. I think you've got to really, really love it to want to watch children play cricket on the TV. And I just be honest with you, I don't enough. And it's partly because you see stuff like this. You'll see like a really good player who is, developmentally speaking, outperforming his peers, just blast through people who are like children. He's got a good high elbow, but actually can't see the ball there because his eyes aren't fully grown.
Yeah, I mean there is an element of that, isn't there? That's always going to be the case. But you can also always guarantee that someone will get a 20 lakh IPL contract out of it if they play well.
There's
in the India side.
There's baby de Villiers, isn't there? I can't remember the bloke's name. Like Donald Brewer. It's not Donald Brewer. I wasn't too far away.
Dewalt Brevis, I assume, is the man you're talking about.
I had the initials right. People were saying maybe he's a punt to go in the IPL. It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
He is the leading run scorer of the tournament so far with 368. So
I still wouldn't be taking a child.
No, especially with an overseas slot.
Yeah, bearing in mind all of the overseas players you could have, I wouldn't be taking a child based on his performance against children. But it's good. It's good that it's on, and that it will be over soon.
Yeah, well, it's over soon, but it's been they've been dragging out as many games as they possibly can, Jack, because they've had. There was supposed to be a 15th place playoff between Canada and Papua New Guinea, but that was fittingly cancelled because I assume no one could be bothered. Uganda pipped Scotland to the unlucky 13th place, and they actually had semi-finals for the 9th place playoff. The UAE beat Ireland in the plate to win that. So, and the 7th place playoff was ongoing while recording. So make sure everyone gets the equal number of games or something. It's like you pay your subs to turn up, and everyone's got to play.
Some of these guys, it will be the best thing that ever happens to me in cricket. They're not going to be professionals. They're not going to get a 20 lakh.
You get to go to the Caribbean and play some cricket. It's great.
You got to go and represent Canada and have a grand day out, and fair play. I do get it from that point of view, but as a fan, I'm a little bit annoyed that they've been bumping PSL games for under-19s World Cup matches. That's my position.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some questions, and I think that wraps us up. Was there any more news? There is one question that wraps into news. VJ wanted to know our thoughts on county plans. VJ in the Patreon Discord. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/the cricket pod.
The Discord.
Yeah. You're not in the Discord yet.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'll join after recording. I will do. Yeah. Yeah. The plans. Well, they've made some progress, I'd say, on things, particularly with the county championship. So probably the two main things on that are that there's 5 games over the summer rather than 3. So that'll be between June and July. So that's good. That will quash some of the you need to play more cricket in the summer things. And the other thing is that the opening 7 rounds will be played from Thursday to Sunday on successive weeks. So that means 2 days of weekend county championship cricket.
That's pretty good.
Which means people can actually go.
Well, the first year we did the cricket podcast, we talked about this, and there were 2 days of county championship cricket at the weekend, the whole of 2019. It was insane. An astonishing fuck up.
Yeah. So
that's good though. Yeah,
I mean, we should applaud them for getting that right, but we should also malign them for taking until 2022 to work out that the weekend is the time that people can go and watch the cricket. But the closing days on the weekend, Sunday afternoon to go and see the denouement of a county championship fixture sounds like a good way to spend a Sunday afternoon to me. So that's
a nice day.
That's promising, and it's coincided well with me upgrading my membership this year to a full county membership. So I can go and catch some.
Isn't it a £5 at most places, or less on day 4 as well? So it's
probably not. Sorry,
might have made that up, but I think it's usually.
I think they used to do like a £5 after tea or something, didn't they? To get you, or free after tea a lot of places, but I mean, those are the kinds of things, aren't they? They're the kind of initiatives that there should be more of to try and get people in.
Oh yeah, for sure. I saw Dan Weston had said some stuff about how county cricket should be organised. I think he proposed 4 divisions of 6, so he was increasing the number of counties involved in the county championship I think adding minor counties in, so you'd play less county championship matches overall, but there would be more county championship or more full counties, I guess, and have also more divisions. There's a lot. I think that's part of the problem for all of these things. There's and Mel Farrell pointed this out when we spoke with her. There's England. We try and pack a lot of cricket into not a very long summer.
Yeah.
A 14-match county championship season. I mean, just that's 56 days of cricket you have to schedule there, plus the Royal London One Day Cup. That's another 10 plus semi-finals plus a final, so 12, 13. You're up to 70 days cricket before you start talking about the 100 and the Blast.
Yeah, the ones that make you money.
Are the things that make money.
Yeah.
So maybe they need to trim a match off here or there. But I'm looking forward to. I quite like the county championship. It's always a good day out. Try and get along once or twice a year as well. And if you like it, and if you're one of those people that thinks that it should be the centerpiece of the summer, put your pounds where your mouth is. Go along. Many Sundays available to you. Also in Patreon, Max, somebody wanted our thoughts on the ODI Super League. Is it working? What are your thoughts? I consider this. I think they're getting rid of it after this one. I'm not going to miss it. Didn't even really know it was the thing.
No, I think that tells you what you need to know, doesn't it? Like it's sort of it's just not really worth it as a concept. It's like a really crap version of the World Test Championship.
Well, I think the idea is it's like a qualifier, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that is the idea. It works. It's maybe good. It's good for the associate nations, like having something like that. But yeah.
They are, I think, expanding the World Cup though, so then it becomes redundant again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, making ODI cricket makes sense because Test cricket will always make sense. Yeah, if you play series, you probably need 3 matches, but within 3 matches, you get narrative stories, people who are in form, out of form, fighting for their place, losing their place. Then the World Test Championship adds just a little bit more context on top of that. But even within a Test series, you actually have narrative. You don't ever have that in ODIs. The World Cup, great narrative.
I mean, half the time they're just add-ons to a Test series.
Yeah.
Which is like, well, we might as well. We're here, so we might as well play some more.
Yeah.
Anyone who was in the Test team doesn't bother because they're all knackered. It's
Yeah. Until the last 2 years, then they're kind of okay, but only because they're a warm up for the World Cup. V Manjunath on Twitter. Adil Rashid's Test career, is there a second, third / 275th wind to it? He will not play Test cricket again for England.
No.
He's got a bad shoulder.
He's got a dodgy shoulder
at white ball cricket.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's enough upside.
Yeah, and England won't do it.
Yeah.
If they're not going to pick Matt Parkinson, they're not going to pick Adil Rashid.
I genuinely don't think there's that much difference between Adil Rashid and the best Adil Rashid could be and just playing Jack Leach more as well. Like they've probably got a very similar ceiling in red ball cricket. Shah Mazim asks, this is a really good question. Who are England's best 5 white ball fast bowlers at the moment? And does Morgan still fit in the sides? We've done Morgan, I think. Who are the best 5 white ball fast bowlers? This is tricky.
I mean, can we include Jofra Archer?
So yeah, let's say Jofra. Jofra is definitely the best.
I'm going to say Wokes. Chris Wokes, yeah.
Yeah, I think Wokes makes it into the top 5.
Definitely.
There's a little bit of a split here. T20, I think you probably have Tamal Mills, but I don't think he could bowl 10 overs. But I'm going to put him in my 5.
Yeah. And you need someone to open. Maybe a left. I mean, it gets tough at this point, doesn't it? It really does.
You've got David Willey.
Is an option.
Could be okay.
Yeah.
He might be there or thereabouts. I'm not sure.
Do we say
I think
Mark
in
Wood?
England, I think Wood probably is.
Wood in the one days. Maybe not T20s, but in one days, Mark Wood definitely gets in there.
I'd say at home, Saqib Mahmood has got a shout, but I'm not sure.
He did have a good series against Pakistan. No, but
it's a tricky one. I think we've got the top 4 there. But
not Chris Jordan is number 5.
I don't think Chris Jordan is.
Not Chris Jordan.
Could be Sam Curran because he could bat.
Yeah, I mean, if Reece Topley puts some form together, he could. I mean,
I think it's quite close.
He's probably a winner from the series. We
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think something like that. Cannon fodder for the fourth T20. This is very special, so you might need the scorecard up for this. For the fourth T20,
I've got it.
even though it wouldn't have made much of a difference, what was the logic behind sending in Darren Bravo ahead of Hussein or Shepherd? What's the point of having Bravo in the team in the first place? He's got a strike rate of 107. I don't know, like dumb teams make stupid mistakes. I think with the West Indies for this series, they were trying new things. I mean, arguably, Rodman Powell shouldn't have been playing based on his previous record in international cricket, but I think he answered those critics. So maybe they were going back through some people who have had a bit of exposure to international cricket and sort of testing them again, just reviewing whether it worked or whether anything has changed. I don't know if you can add anything else, Max.
Yeah, Darren Bravo is a curious one. I was surprised to see him in there because he's just got so much experience, isn't he? That's the thing. I mean, he's actually only played 26 T20s, but he's over 100 ODIs, so there's all that experience in there. So, I mean, maybe that's the thinking, trying to sort of balance out trying new people with having an experienced team of players around Pollard and Holder. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine he is in the West Indies top 11.
No.
Players, would you?
Final question from Bulls, and this is a top 11. India's what players would you pick for India T20? Oh, for the World Cup, basically. Who's in your India team for the World Cup? We'll do a whole show on this.
Jesus, right. So
what I would say,
KL Rahul.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick the whole team, but I don't think they were very far away from their best team for the last World Cup. It's just that they ran into Pakistan and they ran into Shaheen Afridi, and then they lost a game against New Zealand against a team who, frankly, they should have been beating.
Yeah.
And because there's only small groups.
I mean,
South Africa went out and they won 4 out of 5 matches.
Most of it picks most of it picks itself, doesn't it? That's the thing. Yeah. You don't actually need to think King Legend, Rohit Sharma, Kishan, Sky. I mean, if you can put Kohli if you want, I wouldn't, but you could.
Hardik fit.
Bumrah, Hardik is fit. Jadeja, Siraj probably, like Chakravarti. Yeah, depending on where it is. I mean, there's so many players in there.
No, it's not in India. It's in Australia. Sorry.
I mean, there's so many players in there that just merit it, and then you've got a really exciting contingent of young players that you can have in the squad as well. So
I don't think India have to worry too much about that.
You just need to get their ship in order.
We're just going to wrap up. But before we go, Archer is trending on Twitter, so I just want to see if there's anything interesting that's happened. It's not
a TV show, is it?
It seems to be random. It seems to be maybe the TV show. So it's not Jofra Archer. He isn't making a surprise comeback.
Jeffrey Archer.
Jeffrey Archer. He was bowling a bit in the West Indies. Right, Max, we're going to wrap up. Thank you for listening, watching, like, subscribe, follow, click the bell at the Cricket Pod on Twitter and Instagram. If you're not following us there, why not? Patreon.com/the Cricket Pod. Best way to support the show. £5, £4, 409 rupees, 7 Aussie dollars, probably about 10 Canadian dollars. Get involved. We have a Patreon exclusive episode out this week for you to enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.